This Trey Hendrickson outcome to this point, let's be honest. In early January, when we started to talk about the offseason, didn't most of us know this was the most likely outcome? They were far apart on a deal. Trey had already asked for a trade once. Maybe we didn't know really what was going to happen with the edge rusher market. But you had to at least account for the possibility that the market was going to evolve if you knew about some of the players that were also looking for contract extensions. You knew they weren't going to trade him. You knew if they did let him explore trades, their asking price would understandably be really high, which would probably preclude them from making a trade. You knew that Trey wasn't going to push him into a corner and force them, using public relations tactics, to give him what he's looking for. You knew they had other guys they were probably going to place a higher priority on signing, in part because Joe Burrow placed a higher priority on signing them, and that's obviously T. Higgins. Let's be honest, you might have been hopeful that the Bengals get something with Trey Hendrickson done. But deep down inside, or heck, maybe even not deep down inside, we knew when training camp 2025 begins, Trey Hendrickson is going to be either holding out or holding in. Which means if you and I knew that, Zach Taylor has had, let's see, January, February, March, April, May, June, 6.5 months to prepare for how to work through training camp with the Trey Hendrickson thing being unresolved. Lots of time to prepare. Now, maybe he hasn't had as much time to prepare for not having Shamar Stewart during training camp, but let's be honest. The moment that Shamar Stewart left Bengals minicamp, you and I knew what the most likely outcome for the start of training camp was going to be. Guy wasn't going to be here. Zach Taylor has had pretty much the entire summer, all of that downtime between the end of minicamp and the start of training camp to prepare for a training camp where the Shamar Stewart thing hung in the balance. Also, as has been well documented, Zach Taylor has plenty of practice as a seventh-year NFL head coach, plenty of practice and plenty of experience with coaching training camp with some sort of contractual issue hovering over it. If there's a coach in the NFL that should have it down pat how to work through training camp with there being a contract issue or a hold in or a hold out or a key player not being there or being there but not being very happy, it's this coach. When you accumulate experience doing something, you kind of run out of excuses if you're not able to eventually get the job done under the same circumstances you've been working under for years. So we'll hear a lot about another training camp distraction, and I'll acknowledge it's a distraction. How do you not? Joe Burrow has said as much. It's a distraction. It should not be one that precludes the Bengals from hitting the ground running week one.